Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Kiran Jha with the Midday News. The headlines. India's first Kovit vaccine for children above 12 years gets approval for emergency use in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fighting COVID-19 with full vigour and approval for Kovit vaccine is a testimony to innovative zeal of India's scientists. More than 57 crore 61 lakh Covid vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 97.54%. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur says Target Olympic Podium Scheme, Khelo India and Fit India campaign have laid the foundations for greater success. Madhya Pradesh government launches comprehensive talent search campaign in the field of sports. Many parts of national capital Delhi and adjoining regions witness heavy rainfall, road traffic hampered due to water logging. In Uttar Pradesh, Phase 3 of Mission Shakti Abhiyan launched to promote women's safety, respect and self-reliance. And Keralites celebrate their biggest festival Thiruvonam across the globe today. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline number 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. The Central Drugs Standard Control Organization CDSCO has approved DNA COVID-19 3-dose vaccine Kovit of Cadila Healthcare for restricted use in emergency situation in India for those aged 12 years and above. It was approved after evaluation of interim Phase 3 clinical trial results in consultation with Subject Expert Committee of CDSCO. The vaccine has efficacy of 66.6% and it is to be stored at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. The vaccine is needle-free to be administered intradermally in 3 doses at day 0, 28 and 56. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India is fighting COVID-19 with full vigour and the approval for world's first DNA-based Kovit vaccine of Zydus Cadila is a testimony to the innovative zeal of India's scientists. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said it is a momentous feat indeed. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia said in making children of India COVID safe, this vaccine can be used for individuals aged 12 and above. Mr. Mandavia said Kovit is the 6th approved COVID-19 vaccine in India and the 2nd indigenously developed one. He said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India has delivered another significant accomplishment. More than 57 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said more than 36,36,000 vaccine doses were administered during the last 24 hours. It said the recovery rate in the country stands at 97.54% and it is the highest since March last year. More than 36,000 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. Till now, more than 3 crore 15 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19. India reported over 34,000 new cases in the last 24 hours. Till now, 4,33,964 people have lost their lives in the pandemic. Testing capacity has been substantially ramped up and more than 50 crore 45 lakh tests have been conducted so far.
In Assam, the State Health Department would start COVID-19 vaccination at 1,204 centres from 25th of this month at Kamrup Metro Station. Talking to news persons in Guwahati, Health Minister Keshav Mahanta said that this step would be taken to cover all people of Guwahati and nearby areas under vaccination. He said that a 3-day of house-to-house campaign has begun from today to find out the unvaccinated people in the district. Mr. Mahanta said that Health Department has planned to cover all the unvaccinated people by end of this month. In Bihar, the number of fresh COVID cases is declining. 32 out of 38 districts, including Bhagalpur, Kishanganj and Madhepura, did not register any fresh case. Over 7,15,000 people have so far recovered from coronavirus infection. The state recovery rate has risen to over 98%, while the test positivity rate has declined to below 1%. Active cases have come down to 168 in the state. In Gujarat, more than 1 crore adult populations have completed both the doses of vaccine against the COVID-19. Quoting the State Health Department, our correspondent reports that more than 275,000 people have been vaccinated in the state yesterday. More from our correspondent.
More than 4 crore 22 lakh people have been vaccinated in Gujarat till now. Out of these, more than 1 crore have completed both the doses. According to the sources, more than 21% of the adult population of the state is now fully vaccinated against the COVID-19. This is the highest in the country in per million vaccination of both the doses. Out of the total vaccination in the state, nearly 25% vaccinations completed in 4 highly populated big cities, Ahmedabad, Surat, Vadodara and Rajkot. The Gujarat government has suspended the vaccination drive on Sunday due to Raksha Bandhan festival. Meanwhile, 17 new cases of COVID-19 recorded in Gujarat yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur today said sportspersons have the full support of the government and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in their quest for sporting excellence. In an article in the newspaper, Mr. Thakur wrote that Tokyo 2020 was an Olympics of many firsts for the country. He said India won her first gold in athletics, the hockey team did wonders, and there were successes in other sports such as discus throw, golf and fencing. He said the Target Olympic Podium Scheme, Khelo India and Fit India campaign have laid the foundations for greater success. Mr. Thakur said Prime Minister Modi is a person who is passionate about sports and willing to go the extra mile for India's athletes. Before the Tokyo Games began, the Prime Minister held an extensive review meeting to take stock of India's preparedness. In Madhya Pradesh, the state government has launched a comprehensive talent search campaign in the field of sports. The state government has decided to search for new talented players and train them in 18 sports academies of the state. More from our correspondent.
Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said that Indian players have made a record in Tokyo Olympics and have opened doors for future possibilities. Chief Minister has appealed to the youth interested in sports to register themselves in the talent search campaign of the state. So far, more than 50,000 players have applied for online registration of talent search on the basis of physical strength and proficiency in sports. Promising sportsperson will be groomed through coaching and training in 18 academies equipped with world-class sports facilities. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Former Chief Minister of Assam and Union Minister Sarbanand Sonowal has started his 3-day Jan Ashirwad Yatra from Guwahati today. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and State BJP President Bhavesh Kalita along with other party leaders welcomed him at the airport. Union Minister of State Rameshwar Teli is also accompanying Mr. Sonowal. Both of them attended a party rally at Azara. Mr. Sonowal will address the media later in the evening in party headquarters in Guwahati. The minister will visit different places in Upper Assam and interact with the people. The Jan Ashirwad Yatra will culminate at Dibrugarh on Monday. In Himachal Pradesh, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur has said that FM radio stations will set up in every district of the state. He was addressing a press conference in Mandi district today as part of his maiden 5-day Jan Ashirwad Yatra. The Union Minister urged the state governments to make more efforts now onwards in order to bring more medals for the country in the upcoming Olympics and other sports events. He added that in order to promote sports in Himachal Pradesh, a plan is also being made to build stadiums in every district of the state subject to the availability of land.
BJP President JP Nadda has said that the Narendra Modi government has given a lot of incentives in the defence sector and welfare for the army personnel. Addressing ex-servicemen in a program at Haridwar today, Mr. Nadda said the Modi government has substantially increased the defence budget. A number of roads and bridges in border areas have been constructed during the regime of the Modi government, which have provided easy approach to the border posts. Referring to the Prime Minister's visit to border areas on the eve of festivals like Deepavali, he said it shows the emotional attachment of Mr. Modi with the soldiers. Mr. Nadda said equipment is being made in the country under Atmanirbhar Bharat. The BJP president also honoured ex-servicemen on the occasion. In Uttar Pradesh, the third phase of Mission Shakti was launched by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today in the presence of Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in Lucknow. Mission Shakti aims at promoting the safety, respect and self-reliance of women. On the occasion, various programs are being organized across the state. The Uttar Pradesh government is carrying out various schemes for development and empowerment of women. Speaking on the occasion, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the Union government is doing a lot in the field of women's empowerment. She said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi always has planned and is doing a lot for women's empowerment. Finance Minister cited examples of the Prime Minister when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He did several welfare works for women's empowerment. She said that under the Union government schemes, Jan Dhan Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, Mudra and Poshan Yojana, women have benefited a lot. The minister said now women are becoming commissioned officers in our armed forces.
पूरे सैनिक स्कूल में लड़कियों को भर्ती करने के लिए अभी अनाउंसमेंट हुआ। पढ़ने में सैनिक स्कूल से फिर नेशनल डिफेंस एकेडमी में भर्ती होने का पॉसिबिलिटी होता है। उस संभावना से महिला डायरेक्टली कमीशन्ड ऑफिसर हो सकते हैं आर्मी, नेवी या एयरफोर्स या कोस्ट गार्ड में। ये बहुत बड़ा प्रयत्न जो अभी सफल हुआ, उसके वजह से पूरे सशक्तिकरण का सिंबल स्ट्रांगली दिखाई देगा।
Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said that Mission Shakti is a campaign of safety and honour of women, half of the population. He counted the achievements of the state government for women's empowerment. More from our correspondent.
During the program, financial assistance of rupees 30.12 crore under Mukhyamantri Kanya Sumangala Yojana was online transferred in the accounts of more than 1.55 lakh eligible girls. 75 women, including the doctors, health workers, self-help group, police department, women and child development, education department, and entrepreneurs were honored for their exemplary work during the first and second phase of Mission Shakti and their contribution towards the development of the state. These women also shared their experiences on this occasion. Special Mission Shakti Kaksh built in 58,000 Gram Panchayats bhavans were also inaugurated. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces in the upper reaches of Nagvareen forest in Avantipura area of Pulwama district this morning. Police said a joint team of security forces launched a cordon and search operation based on intelligence input about the presence of terrorists in the area. As the security forces approached the suspected spot, the hiding terrorist fired upon them, triggering a gunfight which resulted in the killing of 3 terrorists. Talking to AIR News, Jammu and Kashmir DGP Dilbag Singh said,
खास इत्तला पर कि कुछ आतंकी पहाड़ी के इलाके में जंगल में अपनी हाइडआउट में छिपे हुए हैं। ये तीनों के तीनों जैश-ए मोहम्मद से जुड़े हुए हैं। इस ऑपरेशन में आज 3 दहशतगर्द मारे गए। तीनों का संबंध जैश-ए मोहम्मद से है और उनकी पहचान का सिलसिला अभी जारी है। काफी बड़ी मिकदार में उनसे असला, मिशन और इंक्रिमिनेटिंग मटीरियल जो है वो पकड़ा गया है।
One of the terrorists neutralized in the operation has been identified as Wakil Shah, who was responsible for the killing of Rakesh Pandita, a BJP leader and municipal councillor of Tral in Pulwama district on 2nd of June this year. The identification of the other 2 terrorists is being ascertained. Rag Rag Mein Ganga Season 2, a 26-episode travelogue-based series on rejuvenation of Ganga is starting today on DD National. It is anchored by noted actor Rajiv Khandelwal. The telecast time is 8:30 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays with repeats at 8:30 a.m. on Mondays and Tuesdays. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India's first Covid vaccine for children above 12 years gets approval for emergency use in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fighting COVID-19 with full vigor and approval for Zycov-D vaccine is a testimony to innovative zeal of India's scientists. More than 57 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 97.54%. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur says Target Olympic Podium Scheme, Khelo India and the Fit India campaign have laid the foundations for greater success. Madhya Pradesh government launches comprehensive talent search campaign in fields of sports. Many parts of national capital Delhi and adjoining regions witnesses heavy rainfall, road traffic hampered due to water logging. In Uttar Pradesh, Phase 3 Mission Shakti Abhiyan launched to promote women's safety, respect and self-reliance. Keralites celebrate their biggest festival, Tiruvonam, across the globe today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मात नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मात नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास. तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz will be conducted every Monday and Tuesday in morning news till the 15th of August 2022. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with the listeners on Monday, the 23rd of August. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. Azadi Ka Safar every day with All India Radio from Monday, the 16th of August. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, News Services Division of All India Radio brings to you the story of glorious struggle and sacrifices of freedom fighters on 100.1 FM Gold Channel in the English news bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Stay tuned. Now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव. आजादी का सफर विद AIR न्यूज.
India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. Every day, AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle. In today's episode, we will talk about freedom fighter named Sahodaran Ayyappan, P. Jeevanandam, and will also talk about August offer of the British. Today is the birth anniversary of Sahodaran Ayyappan, a social reformer and thinker from Kerala. Ayyappan was born on 21st of August 1889 in Chennai, Ernakulam. Influenced by the philosophy of Sri Narayana Guru, Ayyappan became his disciple. A staunch rationalist, he launched a magazine titled Yuktivad in 1928 to propagate his thoughts of freedom, equality and brotherhood.
What can be called a milestone in Kerala's Renaissance movement is the Mishra Bhojanam, in which people of all castes had dinner together. Ayyappan got the prefix Sahodaran to his name after he started a journal titled Sahodaran to help promote harmony in the society. He breathed his last on the 6th of March 1968. The legacy left behind by Sahodaran will remain etched in the history of Kerala's socio-cultural renaissance.
Today is also the birth anniversary of another great son of India, P. Jeevanandam. He was born on 21st of August 1907 in the present-day Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu. He was not only a freedom fighter and a socio-political leader, but was also a cultural theoretician, excellent orator, journalist and critic, and above all, a relentless fighter for the deprived. A politician with a clean record in public life who lived and died in utter poverty.
Jeevanandam started his political life as a Gandhian. In 1924, he participated in the Vaikam Satyagraha. He also participated in a protest demanding entry for so-called untouchables into the Suchindram temple. Later, during his stay in an ashram in Siruvayal, he had written a letter to Gandhi, disagreeing with some of his methods. When Gandhi came to Madras, he had this letter in his pocket and wanted to meet Jiva. He told Rajaji that he would like to go to the ashram where he resided and meet him. When Gandhi went to Shiruvayal ashram and asked for Jiva, the Mahatma was surprised to meet the 25-year-old Jiva. His patriotism took him to the national movement. His revulsion towards caste-based discrimination led him to the self-respect movement.
One of his major influences was the works of the Tamil poet Subramanya Bharati, and also Bharati's persona and simple lifestyle. He was well versed in Tamil literature and was a good orator. Jiva translated Bhagat Singh's classic essays into Tamil. Jeevanandam was in the forefront of efforts to build a strong labour movement in Tamil Nadu. In the first general elections in post-independence India, Jiva became an MLA and worked for the development of Tamil Nadu.
And it was on this day in 1940 when the nationalist leaders rejected the August offer in a meeting held at Wardha. During the Second World War, Viceroy Linlithgow had declared India to be at war against Germany. Indian leaders were miffed as the British government had pulled India into war without the consent of the people of the country. But the British government was keen on getting Indian support as it feared to lose the battle. Viceroy Linlithgow made a set of proposals called the August Offer. It proposed to accord India's dominion status among other offers. But nationalists rejected the offer and demanded nothing but complete independence.
After the failure of August Offer, Mahatma Gandhi urged volunteers to offer individual satyagraha. Vinoba Bhave, the saint of Wardha, was the first to volunteer. Satyagrahis also started the Dilli Chalo movement. This was the decisive moment in the freedom struggle. This was the last leg of struggle for independence when, after individual satyagraha in 1942, Gandhiji launched the Quit India movement with the mantra of do or die, which eventually brought freedom for the nation.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Welcome back. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Keralites across the globe are celebrating Thiruvonam today, the annual harvest festival of the state. A report.
Today is Thiruvonam, the most auspicious day of Onam. This annual harvest festival of the state celebrates King Mahabali. Onam is being celebrated by all Keralites irrespective of religion, symbolizing secularism and harmony. Onam marks the season of plenty, but this time the celebrations are strictly adhering to COVID protocols. Authorities had alerted the public to follow extra vigil during the celebrations. People at large will be celebrating the festival in their homes. The spirit of Onam that instills hope and prosperity is in its full glory that hopes to bring a new dawn free of pandemic and a better future. Mayusha, PA News, Thiruvananthapuram.
Many parts of national capital Delhi and adjoining regions have been witnessing heavy rain accompanied by thunderstorms since late last night. As per India Meteorological Department, IMD, Delhi will witness a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain and thunder showers today. The Safdarjung Observatory, which provides representative data for the city, recorded 138.8 millimeters rain in the last 24 hours till 8:30 a.m. today. This is the season's highest one-day rain. Talking to AIR News, senior scientist in IMD, R.K. Jinamanin said the heavy rainfall in the city will continue till tomorrow.
So these heavy rainfall fell not only over Delhi but over West Uttar Pradesh and other parts of northwest India, particularly Haryana, West Uttar Pradesh and East Rajasthan, and in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. These heavy rainfall fell likely to continue till tomorrow night and then reduce thereafter.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The maximum temperature is likely to be nearly 30 degrees Celsius after a minimum of 24 degrees. Mumbai will also have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The lower limit of temperature was 25 degrees Celsius, while upper limit is expected to be around 29 degrees. Chennai is expected to have thunderstorm with rain, and the temperature will move to a maximum 33 degrees Celsius from a minimum of 25 Celsius. Kolkata have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The city noted a minimum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and a maximum will be around 31 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain. The temperature will hover between 17 to 30 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 34. Leh will have generally cloudy sky with temperature hovering between 11 to 23 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky with temperature varying between 16 to 36 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clearly sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will move from minimum to 21 degrees Celsius to maximum of around 38 degrees. Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 34 degrees. Imphal will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers, and it recorded a minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius, while maximum to around 27 degrees. Shillong will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain, with temperature hovering between 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. Aizawl is expected to witness cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature was 21 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 26. Kohima will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The temperature will vary from 20 to 27 degrees Celsius.
Now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India's first COVID vaccine for children above 12 years gets approval for emergency use in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fighting COVID-19 with full vigour, and approval for Zycov-D vaccine is a testimony to an innovative zeal of India's scientists. More than 57 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 97.54%. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur says Target Olympic Podium Scheme, Khelo India and Fit India campaign have laid the foundations for greater success. Madhya Pradesh government launches comprehensive talent search campaign in field of sports. Many parts of national capital Delhi and adjoining regions witnessed heavy rainfall, road traffic hampered due to waterlogging. In Uttar Pradesh, Phase 3 of Mission Shakti Abhiyan launched to promote women's safety, respect and self-reliance, and Keralites celebrate their biggest festival, Tiruonam, across the globe today. And with that, we end the midday news.